Okay, I think it's enough. It has been a very, rather slightly crazy day here on this side of the whole struggle. Dealing with the usual list of accusations. It's all Lester. Everything is Lester. They type the same. They type nothing alike. Okay. It's all hanging upon, like that space before the question mark. Okay. Listen, when I'm doing on my phone, I'm constantly having to delete extra spaces as I can. Okay, like that is not a tell of anything. And again, it ignores most of the guys who are saying very good English. Okay, except Lester. No knock on him. English is not his first language. Okay, he struggles with it. He doesn't type messages. He works on is on his phone, and he does speech to text. And the phone is translating. It occasionally sticks in words he didn't plan. So a DM from Lester is an interesting read. Okay, and other ones it's like Steamy's from Northern England. Okay, other ones I don't know where they're from. I'm guessing but again, very good English. I'm guessing Kakuri and his brother has chimed in. I'm guessing. I'm guessing Japan, but then again, also the brother. It's like a lot of Canadian stuff. So I don't know where the hell they are, but something I pointed out that's with everyone spread over the damn globe here, this is really playing hell with my sleep patterns. Okay, so I was like, let's just call this just call this international rescue at this point. I'll start running the Thunderbirds opening instead of borrowing Indy's things. Again, she hasn't done a stream on YouTube and for freaking ever. So now let's see. It's good here. You get indication stuff is happening on YouTube, but it's just the usual. I keep wondering, on a more genre related thing, do I need when even bother start watching Ahsoka? Because I keep hearing it's getting dumber and dumber. That's what usually when I'm I'm going to be saving it for, I will because the download thing, I get there's a lot of extraneous stuff in that. They'll alter the title to something more clearly visible. But if I don't know, just click it as is. But we really need to, I think, deal with certain issues here. And I need to get out of this rabbit hole. This is distracting. Throw that up there. No, off the things. Okay. Basically, it comes back to you got a select list of like maybe four specific people in Indie Circle: Mistron, Peterman, Jeff Okun, and then Gene Garber, Richard. I understand the actual name, but Gene is the big one though. He's the one really driving the narrative here for the most part. The rest of them are kind of like just back up, enforcer times. But the charge has been made that the pedophile, and the court thing is apparently the more or less admission of his proclivities was made in a very small Discord room apparently, and the only ones present were just a few fans, Gene and Mistron, and he wasn't there, and of course it was just someone complained about Indy's looking just a little too young lately, looking like and it's getting a little off-putting, where it starts to look like a 14-year-old boy. Well, apparently Gene chimed in and said, "Hey, what's wrong with 14? Oh, that's perfect, man." It's like, thus, and the general reaction of those who were there said, "What the fuck did you just say? That you're fucking pedophile." And usual brouhaha, and people started getting threatened to ban. And the thing is, if anybody produces a screenshot of that discussion, they're just going to ban everybody who was there. So no one wants to. no one wants to volunteer to be banned. Okay, so I can understand that, but I'm hearing too many different things that this is what happened. But again, just looking at the stuff we do know, he is constantly pushing. Oh, you look so hot when you chop your tits off, and you're such a handsome boy. She's a good, and apparently he was the one pushing for her to start doing testosterone and look more manly and stuff. To hell with what it's going to do to her health if she really starts going hardcore with this. I mean, totally blowing off the thing. Well, about the singing voice. Oh, it just means Teddy Channel turning into you arrogant. What? If I pass that on, that just you'll lose IQ points reading something that ignorant. No, it doesn't just lower the voice. It destroys the vocal. It destroys the larynx. It's heartbreaking watching it is my transitions of thing before they transition, and the natural voice. And hearing them now, it's like my heart just breaks for these girls. Okay, and I know a lot of them. It's like they one thing they miss is their singing voice. They can no longer even not even carry a tune in a bucket. It's just gone because guys, think about it. When you hit puberty and your voice starts changing. What happened? The throat and the larynx enlarges and stuff, and it dry and things. And for guys, that's normal. That's a part of becoming a man. That's not a part of being. It's And one of the things, and that's why I got alarm here. She's on testosterone. Oh shit! I mean, I'm backed off a little because she's on the same kind of apparently testosterone infused gel or cream that Kid Sis was on. That is to treat an injury to help promote the so just enough to kind of nudge muscle development into a little more little muscle tone and stuff and burning fat, and a little bit of an energy booster. So it's not enough to do any major physical changes, but it does fuck with your mind. It does start, 'cause testosterone is a major stimulant. It will boost your, it'll get you going. And thing is, it stimulates, very stimulant. It stimulates aggressive tendencies. It stimulates libido. Because kids, she is asexual, and suddenly her libido is kicking on. She swore off this, and suddenly, and then the capper was, like I said, I keep at Walmart. We're coming back to and loading up the van, and I grabbed something wrong. And she's ready to rip my lungs up, and it scared herself. And I was like, "Holy fuck, where'd that come from?" And then told the doctor, "That's it, you're off." And again, as hot tempered as Indy is, she keeps going on, and she will blow up, and it won't be as usual, and it'll be. She will destroy something. That camera acts up one more time, she will throw it through the damn wall. Yeah. Her soul picks the wrong time to get needy. God help that dog. Hopefully, she only throws something at him. If she actually, goes after the dog somehow, then it could get very bad. And hopefully, it doesn't result in her soul or Miso getting hurt. It'll just be enough to where, you just physically assaulted your beloved dogs. Now will you listen to me? Now you take me seriously that this is shit not to mess around with. You do not, screw with your hormones. And then, thing about, oh, you look so manly now. You haven't been on the thing long enough to do that, okay? You give me an energy boost to go back to the fucking gym. You have not, the testosterone is not affecting your muscles in that way. It's you getting off your ass and getting back to the gym, Indy, okay? Let's be honest here. And that's what's been lacking a lot. Honesty. These guys are, blowing sunshine up your ass. Oh, he's such a good boy. Such a handsome, manly boy. Bullshit. Okay, come on. Look in the goddamn mirror, Indy. You're no more masculine than you were 6 months ago. All right? Come on. Get fucking real here. But yeah, let's just look at what at what Gene is pushing here. He's constantly urging you to chop the tits off. You look so much hotter. To get on the testosterone, get more manly. And I was going to pull up what I posted here, the reference here, but of course it's going weird. Oh, God damn it. Oh, I'm seeing one block me long enough. There is no disco chat, you dancing. You weren't there, dummy. It was just Mr. On Gene and a few others, and you weren't there. So don't, start saying something. You weren't there, okay? And don't make me have to block you because of this shit either, okay? Come on. All you can say is you didn't see it. But again, you weren't there. So come on, Umpsy. Get off yourself. Well, let's go. Yeah, here we are. Let's see. He's constantly pushing the top surge. You look so much harder when you get to church. I saw that tweet. That's not from someone else. I saw it myself. It was harder to chop your tits off. I think what a good boy and how and pushing to go in the testosterone and mix it up with only saying the positive and affirming stuff to get you going to that. That's just further ingratiating into the getting there, driving away anybody else who has something critical to say. No, we can't handle that negative thing. No, he's a grooming fucking pedophile, Indy. He is no better than the guys who groomed you back in middle school and ended up raping you. And anybody who's done the same thing since then, he is not. He's no better than these guys. Probably a little worse. Upsy, give it up, okay? You're seeing Lester on every fucking thing that comes up. You don't even. He brings that bullshit he types this thing. Come on. It is clear he is not the same fucking guy. Okay, it is not the same thing coming from all this shit. Buck Angel also transitioned to, 30-some years ago. Back when he had to actually jump through a few hoops. I understand Buck was a pretty masculine female to begin with. All right. India's 5'4", 110 pounds, and, a good chunk of that is her tits. Yeah, you're fucking dumb as hell, too. Okay, come on. Again, you said yourself, you don't know these guys that well. Come on. There, she blocked me again. No, that's rather convenient. So let's go there. Get this something. No, let's get someone else's a little more amenable. Again, they can go through the tweets and everything I'm saying is absolutely fucking true. He's pushing this shit. Okay? He is pushing this, he's always put, talking about what a good boy he is. What a good boy Indy is. Oh, so handsome and manly. Oh, yeah, you look so much better when you chop your tits off. Trying to turn Indy into a replacement for his, long-lost 14-year-old twink boyfriend that went by. Makes you wonder what happened to him. Not necessarily nefarious, just could be as simple as just, the kid, it's legal age. Realizes he didn't want to hang around with this fat fuck anymore. Or just no longer, was the 14-year-old boy. Aged out of the role and got tossed aside. And so we're going for Indy now. Figured maybe, Indy will keep that role a little longer. Indy's almost 30! And between the stress and the heavy, weed use and just the fact that she's almost fucking 30, that's not going to last long either, Sparky. All right? So it's back to the old thing of leave her alone. You've done enough damage, you sick fuck. And before Indy jumps in, he's different. No, he's not. Okay? He is not any different than the sickos that groomed you and raped you before, Indy. Leave him, and dump the other assholes who are backing his ass up. I don't know why I don't care. Well, I mean, I'm getting indications that, I did break up something by caterwauling into the high heavens down in L.A. They would have pulled something if I hadn't been screaming at you, okay? No, Lana's not a part of it. They tried to make her a part of it. Apparently, they were pushing. Oh, you should do a video with her. Yeah, you two should do a video, and then we'll hook up later on. We'll do a 4-person gangbang all together. Thing that also shows just how little regard they actually have for you and Lana. That you would go along with this shit when you're supposed to be on fucking vacation. You know. And I would think Lana has some criteria of who she welcomes into her gangbangs. You know. Like I said, there are certain rules. One, you don't let perfect strangers wander off the street. I don't care how you know them online. You don't know them. You don't know what they've been with. What kind of equipment they're bringing, or what kind of previous diseases they're bringing into the mix. No, you do a little bit of vetting here. Well, let's see. So now that UMSI has come on and screamed at me to her little heart's content. Not take on first landed. Come on, try it. Just try it. I'm pretty sure that Indy probably did go to the local cops, try and get a thing thrown on me, and they'd say, and probably talk to the same cop I talked to up there. And yeah, he probably had a little talk with her. I've talked to him myself, ma'am, and he's very concerned about you. But you're not going to get any restraining order because he's not a local. And he hasn't. Has he actually threatened you? Well, no. So far, I was guilty. I was being very annoying. And last time I checked, annoying is not against the law. So, all right. In other news, the apartment's coming together slowly but surely. I finally got the living room and a general idea of what I'm after. I got the records all moved back on the wall where I want them. Shored up the crates so they're not going to collapse. And I could put the stuff in the middle, get some shelves in, start putting stuff up, and maybe you get a couch. That'll be fun. Now, tomorrow's item of business is cleaning up the kitchen because it has gotten bad. I don't think so. I don't. I mean, she yelled at me rather high, big time in DMs right now. But that's the idiotic thing about the whole thing. It started with Kikori's brother chimed in and said, "No." In fact, let me pull this up here. Let me do it here. Oops. Okay, that's one I will follow. What post was I mentioned in? Ah, okay. All right, well, very little to do with this, but I see the lizard, the little detransitioner lizard that comes in with everything. But I don't know. Deal with that later. What was I looking for? Oh, yeah. I sent this to Loretta. Or Rosetta. I keep saying Loretta. No, Rosetta here. Okay. Let me pull that up here. And I will move this to another thing so it can be read. Now. There we go. All right. This was a little chat that Lester passed on to me. Clarifying just what? He's new to the discussion, so he's kind of, trying to get everything, lined up here of what's going on. So let's call this up here. And again, this is starting up the Lester. I know it's again, both parties, English is not their first language. So the syntax is going to be a little odd. Although, what's his name again? Shinobi, very good English, but the little odd choice here. But no, it's very difficult to make things right, especially past mistakes. Don't worry, I won't blame you for all the situation as long as you're honest with me. Are you Brinstar? Don't worry, I'll help you protect your name. Okay, And here's Lester chiming in. No, I'm not Brinstar. He is dead. He killed himself live on stream. Many people watched it. Indy, and again, Lester does, speech to text because again, English not first language. He's speaking another. Again, typing it. He doesn't type this stuff at all. He talks it into it, and the phone is trying to translate. Make things. Not translate from like Spanish to English because he is speaking English. But again, there's undoubtedly an accent involved here, and that's why the punctuation is kind of non-existent. I get DMs. It's like they're like a mile long. He just starts motor mouthing. That's why the punctuation is a little spotty because the app is trying to figure out where to put in the things. Okay, and things it's strange. Okay, so no, I'm not Brinstar. He's dead. He killed himself live on stream. Many people watched it. Indy keeps saying he's alive, so he doesn't feel guilty about letting him die. I can say for sure, Brinstar is dead. The person doing all, and then again, Brinstar, he got banned or blocked and had to come back as Arctic Gazer. So that's why just to making sure here. But people hate us. They won't listen to us when we tell the truth about the perverts controlling Indy. Now they're and again. You don't even have to be, not. I see that all the time. Wrong there. In fact, it's a joke nowadays. Which there, now they're trying to say I'm you, which I'm not. I'm not Bob or Steamy. I only have one account. It's all lies. They need to listen when we tell them about Gene. He is making things worse, and we get the blame for what he says and does. I'm sorry, my English isn't very good. He says we all. And again, I'm not sure how he gets that in there because that's one of the things Umsy's hanging on. Oh, you can't get this. I don't know how they does it. Okay. And Umsy, neither do you. So shut the fuck up. We all talk the same, but I don't see how she can because they don't. Because we don't do me. Yeah, we don't. Okay. And again, they accused him of being me because. I was thinking that was probably a sock puppet by Gene to try and jump a little reverse psychology going. But I shot that. Okay, so knowing proper English is what you're hanging on here. You're an idiot. Okay. Do you watch? So you that should be. So you watched Brinstar kill himself? Yes, I did. Yes. Hung himself. It was horrible. It was stay with me forever. He was crying a little, begging Indy to talk to him, to see the proof he had that Mistron and some others were leaking private information to a guy so he could get close to Indy and rape her. The man had raped a girl before, but that's the thing. This guy they're probably sending had done this before. But Indy blocked him and wouldn't look at the evidence, so he was so upset he killed himself. Spoke about Bob, saying he wants Bob to save Indy from them and keep Indy safe. Called Mistron and Gene both monsters for wanting to rape Indy, but Indy thinks they're friends, so she trusts them, but they aren't her friends. They just want sex. They were going to rape her when she was in L.A., but because Bob made their plan public, they couldn't do it. But now they plan again and have to stop them. Gene is trying to turn people against us. We have to stick together and help Indy because we are the only ones trying to stop Gene hurting her. That's what it seems like. Okay, I will say that much. That's the thing, I mean, apparently there's a bit of a combination of things going on between why Gazer stuff just vanished off the entire thing. It's not just the fact he deleted his account, and there may be a thing of delete all your tweets with it, but it's like it was gone quick, and I think it's because there was a suicide involved. Now, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know. It's a speculation at this point. Why? Because I know I tried to throw a response. At least send me what you've got. For God's sakes, leave us something. Leave us something here. But I missed them like 10 minutes. Like that account doesn't exist. He was doing a countdown the whole time. Well, tomorrow's it. Please, come on. Don't just leave it hanging here. Send me something. And the thing is, there was all, told Orango Tropa says everything, and he chucked Gazer under the bus faster than anything. Oh, it's all lies. Just to get back and get back in with it, in with Indy. It's like despicable little worm. This guy killed himself for you, and this is how you pay him back. Fuck you. Yeah, that's the thing. And again, I've seen other things come up. It's like, no, we saw it. He's dead. He's not Lester. Apparently, I don't know what Lester looks like, but he's from some island off Spain. And Gazer described to me as like 35 Asian bodybuilder type. You know, but that's the thing. It's like Indy, I think, is going into full dissociation mode here. And she's going deep down into this thing. She's not, nope, nope, not even going. So that's why we're doing this to try and bust through that. I mean, it did, lose the subscriber. This shouldn't be done public. Unfortunately, it was done in public, and it's still in public. So yes, we're gonna hash it out in public. Okay. But Indy, he's not your friend. He's not being a friend. Friends do not encourage friends to chop themselves up. A little bit of Stockholm thing. I don't know what the hell's going on, but that's the closest thing I can figure. A little bit of Stockholm syndrome here. But I think it's just part of just the grooming process. I mean, this is probably one of the weirder, but like welcome to the online world. You can groom online. Through Twitter and other things. And part of it, there's certain aspects of Indy's personality. She wants to be loved, wants to be accepted, and wants to be friends. She's a friendly person. She wants to be friends with people and help them. Kind of pay it forward from the shit she's had to deal with, through the years. But unfortunately, that also leaves her open to manipulative bastards like Gene and Mistron and Peter and the rest of them, who think they've got someone they can use to their advantage. Yeah, she needs to get her head out of that bong or anything. Because it's not going to happen again. You're not going to be on guard for it with your fucking stoned all the goddamn time, okay? Just go back and watch your old streams, Indy. How often did you hit that bong, and how often are you hitting it now? How much are you spending on pot now compared to then? Okay? I'm pretty sure that bill has gone up dramatically. Yes, I am, Rosetta. Hold on. I will throw that on here. Get in a message. Oh, come on. Don't be doing this crap. Come on. Piece of junk. Come on. There we go. There we go. And there we go. I just sent Rosetta an invite. See if she pops in. See if she's in a position to actually come on. Let's see. How far are we in there? About a half hour. Yeah, only a half hour in. See if she can pop in here. Yes, I have, because a lot of shit that you need to be done. And by the way, I don't want to hear from you, so bye-bye. Because I would not believe a single word you fucking say, you pervert, okay? Anyone who would encourage someone to chop off their their own body parts for a fucking personality issue should burn in hell. Go away. I don't want you around, asshole. You're a sick person. You do not belong in polite society. Go away and leave Indy alone. All right? And as Indy is fond of saying, this is not a debate. Okay? It's gone well beyond that now. I start hearing things about you look so hot when you chop your tits off. Fuck you with a baseball bat. And Rosetta will be on shortly. Soonish. Yes, old Gene tried to join. You've been talking shit about me. No, I'm not talking shit. I'm talking the fucking truth, asshole. Oh, yeah, Barbie'd be good, too. Yeah. No, I'll tell you what. No, Gene, if you're still watching, it's like either you're a fucking pedo, or you're doing a damn good imitation of it. Either way, it's sick, and I want you away from Indy immediately. And take your fucking friends with you. The ones who are backing your ass up. Get the fuck out of our lives, okay? Get the fuck out of Indy's life. Go away. You have caused too much wholesale destruction as it is between driving her toward this shit and having her ban everyone under fucking creation. For having the thing of, you think maybe you might be wrong. Ah! Transphobe! Now actual trans people are saying, you're making us look like idiots, Indy. Stop it. God, this is sick. Now, I'll give him a couple of points for showing up, but no, not happening. My house, my rules, you're gone. Okay? But yeah, this has been a wild one, okay? I mean, I'm trying to have just a little fun here and there. What we the cover ideas for Kukuri's manga, yeah. And of course, occasionally hitting the sock puppet account comes up trying to cause shit and whacking them like a pinata. That causes a little bit of fun, but this is getting serious though. Okay, it's like this is not good. Oh yeah. Let's see if I call an airstrike from Buck Angel. Yeah, I call Buck Angel a transphobe. You fucking idiots. I did send a link. I'm not going to put it in chat because there's too many wild elements here, but I'll put you in. I'll send it to your Twitter. What I don't want is one of the oddballs chopping in here real quick. Drug addicts has a little bit of security. Yeah. Because we've already had. Okay, yeah, there we go. Because we've already had Pedo Gene try, come in to start shit. It's like, no, I don't, Don't entirely know who's in chat watching right now, so. Can't risk, There we go. And we're in. Hey. And we got a kitty cat.
That's what you get until I can find my overshirt, because I'm not going on with my arms look like Hive Central.
That's fine, yeah.
At least I could sit halfway upright from now on, like the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I see what asshole was in chat earlier.
Briefly, yeah.
Dude, quit being a fucking perv and a spaz and a creeper and
Yeah.
everything else, and we wouldn't say shit about you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do us a favor and just go screw yourself because nobody cares about you.
Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, there's enough just what we know and seen in open chat. Don't have to invoke this mystery Discord chat where certain people, but they're not allowed to show anything because they'll get immediately banned because you were there, somebody had to be there. You cast everybody out. Like, stuff I have seen myself. I have seen you try to end you be so hot when you chop your tits off. Fuck you.
Again, these are the people wanting to
God.
say you've been talking shit about them. How they've said how much shit about how many of us we didn't even talk to them or know them.
Yeah.
They've gone after how many people who weren't even involved in this,
Yeah.
who didn't even say anything to them, who never went after them.
Anybody
and
they
said shit about us publicly.
suspected of tossing info on me or he must be, and they just and muting people in chat for no fucking reason. I know idea. Well, because you said some traffic. No, people are muted just because you got friendly, and they okay, that's it, time's up, out, and didn't say a goddamn thing. Just suddenly trying to put in a question, and it's like, why is nothing happening here? They are restricting access as much as possible until it's like you go in a chat and it's like it's only those guys doing the talking. Only their one, they do. All right, chat, what should I do? And only there, the rest of the chat, you never hear a damn thing because they can't get through.
And to Steffi's question, they're very, very, very clingy since they've seen me again. Especially Panther, who, oh my God, his face is starting to look different. He's definitely maturing a lot.
Yeah. But he still likes his little hump cushions, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my last
To be fair, so does my husband.
Well, yeah, true, but he's got a prayer good. Right? He's got a better idea what he's doing. But it's like, Kakuri, the guy who's been doing the manga, his brother showed up. Apparently, they answered some accusations that he's somehow one of these. No, he's not.
Here's the thing. When you go paranoid, when you're trying to cover your ass so much that you start accusing everybody of being involved in something, you make enemies left, right, and center of people who were never a part of that and weren't your enemies to begin with.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to saying, all they're doing is building me an army. Whoop, you muted yourself.
On purpose. I was saying something to Steve real quick.
Okay, all right. I figured that.
So it's like, what do they want? I mean, I was never against Indy or her community or any of that when I came into this.
Yeah.
I did roll my eyes at some of the wokey, twatty stuff said, but I also sat there and tried from the beginning to be the voice in the center, to try to help on each side understand each other.
Make sure I didn't go off the rails.
Yeah, I've been the one reining you in for them.
Yeah.
And I'm getting accused of all kinds of shit for it.
Yeah.
I've been the one trying to keep him under control with his wife. We're the ones telling him, behave. You want to make us enemies. You don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, no.
You think he's psycho? You think he's a dick? You ain't seen me pissed off. Take it from me. You don't fucking want to.
Yeah, a combination Lakota Sioux and Irish. Okay. Yeah.
With a bit of Viking and German in there. Don't forget that part.
None of those races are particularly nice when they're mad. Okay.
I mean, I do also have a little Spanish in me, but again, that goes to the same thing. I mean,
then we get just mean. Okay. The Inquisition. What a show, the Inquisition.
I know. That popped in my
Here
head
we go.
too.
Yeah.
I'm a Mel Brooks
Hey,
fan.
Torquemada, what do you say?
I am a mess because I've been in bed all day because of how bad the ankle is. So I'm trying to make myself look a little more presentable here. But no, it's like I am basically this combination of some of the most stereotypically
Yep.
violent tribes and ethnic
Mm-hmm.
groups in the
Yep.
world kind
Mm-hmm.
of rolled together in one. So push my temper and see what I'm
Yep.
like. Honey, am
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
sweet when
Mm-hmm.
I'm nice and
Oh
nice and
yeah.
sweet when I'm angry?
Mm-hmm.
He's just looking at me with his face like I'm not answering that.
Yeah, and then Steph's got to chime in here. Make sure to bounce on one guy accusing me of neglecting my wife for a porn star. And like I said, you want to throw that charge around? Look at Mistron. What does his wife think about this? And how far behind is he on the alimony and the child support? By the way, it's like you really want to do that? Thing? You know,
You gotta realize people will figure out what the shit you're up to when you start doing this stuff.
yeah.
I was. It goes to the same one I found the other day, which
Mm-hmm.
look, I hate these predators and stuff, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
sometimes when things happen, I laugh because this
Yeah.
guy comes onto this thread
Hey,
and
Daniel, we're fine, I think.
his Twitter handle had his full name. It had a picture of him.
Mm-hmm.
He comes into this thread and starts complaining about sexualized women and boobs making somebody whorish and all this other stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then somebody just posts below his criminal record for sexually assaulting children and helping to abuse and groom them, and with the
Oopsie.
documents from the courts,
Mm-hmm.
which also had his mugshot, which matched his profile picture, which he somehow took down and changed his name right after that. I mean,
Uh, to quote the martial arts instructor in UHF, "You're so stupid,
yes, it's like, you know what, you freaking did it
stupid."
to yourself. You did it to yourself at this point. If you have that kind of record and you're going to go out there and start talking about what sexuality is, you're going to get found out because people are going to get fed up.
Yeah, God help old Gene if we find out his real name, and I can actually check up the L.A. sex offender register, see if he's on there somewhere. Because if it turns out, there's truth to this thing about his ex being a little kind of 14-year-old twink, boy, well, that's not legal. So there may be some charges out there or something pending. If I find that about guess what?
And hello to
That's
Daniel, by the way.
yeah, I know.
Sorry that I'm a little rambling. Look, I've had a really rough couple weeks. I'm right now medically stressed as hell, and I just spent time in fucking South Cal.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what temperament I have right now?
Not
I
good.
mean, let's put it this way, and I'll put it really sweetly. The hair is the right color. What's the joke? I mean, there's a soulless redhead joke, but there's also the joke that
Yeah.
we earn freckles for every soul we steal or every life we destroy. Dude, they may be pale, they may not show well on the camera, but I have freckles from my freaking scalp all the way to my toes.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Oh yeah.
Good.
The list
I hope
is
that
long
works
and
out.
distinguished.
Fluffy.
Yeah.
Like, look,
Yeah, we actually made quite a bit of progress. I could probably. I should do a little walkthrough of the phone and everything.
here's the
This
thing,
way,
and everybody
we can actually
say
move
their crap
around
and
now.
do what they want.
We've got clear floor now in the living room.
There's other downside to trying to keep track of my hair right now, is I've been trying to, of course, rebound it from the hair loss I went through last year,
Yeah.
and it has been regrowing. What that means is that everything from about here down is quite thin, and everything from about here up is thick and trying to curl constantly. So I'm constantly going to do stuff to try to keep it from frizzing out and matting up, because I need to either get it cut or something, because its mismatched ends are getting really, really bad.
Yeah, I don't know if we covered the thing, but apparently there was a plan to nail Indy in LA. It wasn't as broad as it was led to believe, but yeah, apparently they were planning on springing something on her. And they were ostensibly using Lana as bait. Pretty much Lana wasn't playing along. Like they were urging from the sideline, you two should do a video together, and then two of them would pop in and they make a gangbang out of it. But Lana was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And Indy's on vacation. She's not going to do it. She's, this is work for them. She's away from work. She's trying to relax. So yeah, that whole plan. And of course, I decided to hit the air raid sirens on it. So no, there's no way we can pull away now. So I scared him back into the woodwork. At least that's what I'm being told.
Which I did consider was an option that would occur when you started going is how shall I say it, balls to the wall as you did about it.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing to anybody out there. I will do a lot of stuff just for my photos. And look, I love my art. I love my photography. But which do you think I'm more willing to risk things for? Taking a photo or helping somebody in need?
Yeah.
So if you guys think that it's crazy that I'm willing to face down predators and animals I'm allergic to and scale the faces with my spasms and tics for a photo,
yeah,
then you don't want to see me when I'm pissed off.
There's an actual human life involved here. It's like, guess what?
Plus, there's a part of me that really likes being bitchy. I'm not saying it's necessarily good or right.
But it's there.
It's human nature.
And nothing else. I think I demonstrated that I will move heaven and earth if someone I care about is in danger. Like,
here's the
like
thing.
I said, when kids are reading comic books, it's not just for the adventure and the fantasy. It's for job opportunities. You go, hey, I could do that. Look up.
Yes, save a hoe.
Yes. We take this seriously, okay?
You know what's really, really bad is it may have been a bust wedding, but my brother still had a superhero themed wedding with one of the ex-wives, and I still did that dressed up as a cross point between long flowy skirt kind of old-fashioned woman and Supergirl stuff with a Superman shirt. So I mean, as part of the wedding party.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Have I earned my geek stripes? I mean,
now I'm still got a bit of a if I can dump the weight working up a Wolverine outfit, Man, I'm already thinking they're selling these little pop-out claw toys at the Walmart. They get a couple of those. Well, there's the claws. And I
don't need those. I got natural ones.
Well, you want to pop it. If I can figure out a way to work that into a gauntlet realistically. But yeah, I still got the bulk of it.
Do you know how easy it is to make a weapon out of your real nails?
Oh yeah.
All it takes is a couple weeks of work. All you have to do is do a hardening process every day for a couple weeks, and file them a little sharper each day while you do it. They will literally be like daggers. No, I mean they will literally be like daggers that can cut through almost anything by the end of that.
Yeah.
And there's no place that can tell you they can't carry them on. They're your fingernails.
Well, just from biting them, I get the edge of them. Literally, I think I have scars somewhere. Well, that was my thumbnail.
See, I'm very creative, and I understand how to make shit that I should probably know how to make. Let's be honest. But my point is, there's a lot of shit you can do and get away with pretty easily, actually, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, some people you really don't want to piss off as artists and writers and stuff. Because that's
look at it this way.
Doing is thinking up new and imaginative ways in order to kill somebody.
I have been writing gothic thrillers since I was 11.
Oh yeah.
If there's a way to kill somebody, I've come up with it for my stories. It doesn't mean that I actually would act on it, but
no. But
dude, I've got a list of things I've come up with.
The research has been done. Okay.
And trust me, you want to find research on some of the obscure, weird ways to kill people. You just spend some time studying history's database of all serial killers.
I just got to go through, work up, remember what it was like going through that tour of the Tower of London. Yes, they do cover the torture chambers.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, this is not a mock-up. This is real. More than one person died in that cage over there. Okay. That block, yeah, there's a few heads that went rolling off of that one. Okay. This is the real thing, Sparky. Okay. This is not some mock-up for Hollywood. No, this is actual London. This is
I got news for people who talk about the stodgy, boring Brits. Yeah, they are. But because of the stodgy, boring, sexually repressed part, they also had a tendency to be violent, sociopathic assholes. Don't sexually oppress people. It makes them psycho.
Yeah.
Why do you think the taming of the shrew was a popular story? How do you fix this bitchy woman? Hey, get her laid. I'm just saying.
It's like the same Britain that the nostalgia is also the same Britain that gives you Jack the Ripper and soccer hooligans. Okay, football hooligans.
For freak's sakes.
Yeah.
Look at the freaking cheese rolling. We take a giant roll
Yeah.
of cheese, we roll down a hill, and watch the peasants chase down the hill and beat each other up trying to get it first so
Yeah.
they can feed their families.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Cray twins. When they were around, they kept the mafia out of England. That's how nuts they were. Okay.
People after my own heart. I mean,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Ronnie and Reggie. Oh God, they were fucking insane. They were actually identical twins, but one of them got into, took up boxing, and yeah, you can tell which one's which. His face got so misshapen.
there's reasons I tell people you don't know just what kind of person you're messing with. I'm docile in a lot of ways. Not every way. But honestly, I am that person. I tend to get shy and bashful. I tend to pull back and be very quiet in some things.
Keely Chow is here.
Hello, Keely.
Well, another sum up of the day and the craziness that is the Indieverse and the wackiness that went going after us.
But
trying to identify the chief devil in this whole thing, the one who's pushing her to chop her tits off and go on testosterone and become a real boy. Fucking Geppetto asshole,
Well, let's look at this honestly. Do any of you think I would resist fighting if I had to defend somebody?
No.
Do any of you think that my shy side would win over my violent side in that situation?
I think a certain guy who tried to assault you while you were wrestling, assuming his voice has come back down to a normal register.
What a mini.
Yeah.
I have not started fights in my life. I was
that
not
one
that
guy,
person.
That one guy might be down to an alto now, but I'm sure he's not even approaching tenor yet. And this was how many years ago? Yeah.
I never started a fight in my life. I've never swung first in my life. I've never lost one either.
Mm-hmm.
So that says something. And I was a bit of a shameless brawler. I was, God, I was a rowdy brat. I was a troublemaker.
Yeah. Yes, guys, this guy required surgery to pull the nut back out, okay?
He totally deserved it. I mean,
yeah, oh, sure, yeah. Man, I can speak from personal experience. Yes, they will retract back into the abdominal cavity if given proper convocation.
Yeah, enough pressure is a good way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
I imagine that both of them took a while to resume the normal shape.
I mean, usually when that's needed, they never do fully.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't, but maybe just.
I'm a little disturbing to people sometimes, right?
I'm sure that made for interesting conversations. If he hooked up with anybody, oh my God, what happened to you? Well, once upon a time, I made a very stupid move.
And maybe he learned a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
See, bullies don't learn lessons when you back down to them and let them win. The same goes for any kind of predator. If they feel weakness or see weakness or sense weakness, they will prey upon it. They will spring upon it. But when they get their shit kicked out of them for it, it gives them reason to think twice.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you go through a period of, does this even work anymore?
People need to learn lessons. Sometimes
let me tell you, when I was in the hospital from a ruptured appendix, this is back in like 94. So yes, we're talking before you were born, Indy, if you're watching this. The thing is, you're just in the no underwear involved there, so it's like that's the thing. And fortunately, there's a few times I'll end up actually sitting on these poor Joes. Yep. I mean, it was like momentary, get shot out, but thing is, once it's done, damage done. So they're and the problem is, it's like you're in the hospital, you're in the ICU part of the way. You either got to roommate in the room, or you got cameras around it so they can monitor your situation. You can't whip one off to make sure things are working, okay? So yeah, it's like you gotta wait till you get home and you got time by yourself before you can actually do a proper, function check.
Sharing your hospital rooms was a lot more common in the ERs when I was a teenager
Yeah.
back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It kind of was done away with pretty much universally in the US by the time I was in college.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, being in the same hospital room with somebody else in the ER was commonplace.
Well, when I was in the VA hospital, the old one.
Oh, and those ones are just shit anyways, but
yeah,
I mean,
they've got a new one now. It's further out, but my God, the place is a palace. So what happened when you actually get out of the stupid civilian screen and hand it over to the Army Corps of Engineers, where they got a vested interest. You may be coming to this place here, so you better make it good. But no, I had to wait till I get home, where I can finally get enough alone time. Okay, now let's check this out, make sure everything's working on. And the first it came out orange. Okay, so there was some sequestered blood in there.
the thing is,
okay, so okay, give it time. Wait for the second
When-
one. And came out. Okay, we're fine. Okay. So,
when you survived more, you also have a tendency to be more aggressive in some ways.
yeah.
In other words, we've seen shit, we've been through shit. We're not as squeamish.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to sit there and go, "Eek, I don't want to do that" when it comes to knocking some idiot's head in. We're going to go, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
See, painkillers don't do shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do shit. They've tried. Either I'm completely immune to them, they don't do anything, I can't feel them, or they make my head dizzy and I still feel every damn thing. They didn't change anything other than the fact that my give a fuck center of the brain screwed up.
Yeah.
Or I'm allergic to them, in which case they cause
that's
really
what we're
freaky
what we're
stuff. I
responding
mean,
to here. Yeah, my experience with morphine, again, it was in the VA. It was one of those situations where it's like, cut my shoulder. I screwed up my both shoulders, probably rotator shit, back when I was in junior high. In high school. And as during recovery from the surgery for the, ruptured appendix, where they got what's called a Montgomery bandage, where they kind of lace you up like a football in case, because that still has to drain. And occasionally they tighten it back up, and eventually the belly button gets back to where it's supposed to be. But trying to get comfortable in the bed, it's like the shoulder decided to start screaming. It's like, great. Add insult to injury here. I can't, old football injury, playing foot, something. It's like, well, the nurse, want to try some morphine? It's like, okay, what the hell? We're in a hospital, controlled environment.
yeah,
And so
I've never had that feeling, Steph. I just get the closest I've come to numb was I started having an inability to recognize pain
Again.
and understand it correctly.
Again, some context.
It wasn't that I wasn't losing pain. It wasn't that I wasn't in pain. It's that my whole brain had basically decided, fuck it, this is my state of being. And my brain was numb to everything. And that was not a good stage. And that stage produced a lot of this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, that is about morphine, though. And I'll tell you, trying to get, because the hospital bed is not the greatest thing in the world to try and get comfortable in. They try.
God, no.
But there's one point, it's like going along, and again, I was every couple, they're limited like once every 2 hours. I was watching the fucking clock, okay? That 2 hour marking, hit the button. Let's try it again. And so finally, I was like, it didn't do anything for the pain. It made you not really give a shit.
Nothing's done anything
I could not really get any kind of a good buzz out of it. I couldn't, but till finally I got, it's like, okay, finally adjusted right in the bed. Okay, not hurting now. Okay, now. Okay, and then in there, okay, now we got a good one. Now I understand.
I remember dental surgery, and they told me, okay, well, just let us know if you're still feeling things or stuff, right? It's like, no, just fucking get it done with, because I'm going to still feel shit.
Yeah.
That was the first thing. It's like, well, no. It's like, we'll give you a double dose. We'll give you the max dose we're supposed to give people. Let us know if this isn't going to work or what's going on, because we don't want to just do this if things are still feeling. Because we're not just going into the roots nerve, we're drilling into the jawbone to put titanium in.
There's always that one nerve that doesn't want to die.
And they're like, so just tell us if you still feel this. It's like, I'm gonna still feel this. I'm not telling you shit.
Yeah.
They had Max Novocaine. They had partial laughing gas on me. I was still sitting there. I remember feeling every damn freaking thing. I also remember my head not giving a shit about anything for the next 2 days. But
Yep.
and they used enough stuff on me trying to get me numb for this, because they didn't want to see what they've seen with me in the dental work before this.
Yeah.
But they gave me a card as I left that basically said that I'm drugged enough, I'm not accountable for myself. See the person taking care of me. I'm just like, this card could have got me out of so much shit if I really was thinking about it. I mean,
when I
could have had a grand old time with that.
Yeah, when I had my wisdom teeth extracted, I just said, no, knock my ass out. Just, we're not even going to try. Just knock me out. Do what you need to do. I did not really come to until I was back home in the recliner, and I was being told what went on. That I'm just going to being guided back into and passing by Steph's on the picnic table out back. I kind of pat her on the head, and and I was like, oh, this thing, I didn't come out of it till I'm already at home. Why is there cotton in my mouth?
I've never had anything knock me out that well. Yeah. Actually, they told me when they did the cystic surgery, this was a short surgery. It literally is, they don't have to make an incision to start because it's internal in her.
Yeah.
So they literally just use a specula and go for it. So this wasn't supposed to be a complex surgery anyways, other than because of where they're cutting, it's going to cause a lot of pain. So we don't want you awake for this, It's like, okay, fine. Whatever. Knock me out. Fine. Apparently they had to do that 3 times in the little time they were doing the surgery, because I kept trying to wake back up. So I'm very immune to a lot of this shit. And I feel the pain anyways. And there is one other little side effect, and it's something that is genetically known in redheaded traits. We feel more pain than other people.
Yeah.
So if I'm going through these kinds of pains as commonplace, and I'm going through this shit and it doesn't numb me, and I've been through all kinds of physical traumas and horrific abuses and stuff, it hasn't fazed me enough to stop. If I can stand there, turn around, and my calf muscle, boom, like fucking bolt, and shreds and snaps 5 places, the muscles up the calf, and I don't yell. I drop to the bed and I go, what the fuck was that? In a monotone.
Yeah.
That tells you what my pain threshold is. You come at me, you better hope that you take me down before I take you down. Because pain isn't going to stop me.
Yeah.
It's going to motivate me to make you want to feel worse.
I got a feeling if you did manage to, conceive and bring a child to term, you'd probably laugh through the delivery.
I don't know. I don't think.
Maybe an epidural to make a path. But I think, okay, this is not so bad. And we're losing people.
Here's the thing that'll freak out most of the people out there. When I went through the cystic issues, this is a little bit of a blunt share, so just if you can't handle it, I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Well, Steph's the only one watching now at this point. So,
when I went through the cystic issues, I had multiple polyps, cysts, and benign tumors, all in distress, in nerve pain, in multiple of them in hemorrhagic states, trying to bleed out.
Yeah.
So to try to prevent this, they put me on hormones while they were doing treatments to try to heal that. Great. Basically, I was taking large amounts of hormones that slow the bleeding in order to not bleed out while they treated all this. The upside of that one, which kind of is that I learned one thing about myself, because this was 13 months of these treatments and these procedures while going through these hormones and bleeding constantly, 13 months.
Uh-huh.
The body doesn't want that.
No.
So my body wanted to reject every piece of flesh down there that didn't feel right.
Mm-hmm.
So every cyst, every polyp, every piece of the tumor, it was trying to forcibly force off itself,
Mm-hmm.
which created the effect of constant feeling like my muscles were tearing.
Mm-hmm.
And every few minutes for 13 months, going through basically mock labor pains where my body was contracting and trying to expel its own walls.
Mm.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a clue, I'm still here.
Yeah. Managed to survive the self-destruct order. Yeah. You know.
Once you survive shit like that, you get a lot more jaded to when other people go, I am in pain.
Yeah.
Because usually you look at them like, dude, fuck you.
You don't know. I'll give you something to hurt.
It's like, look at me. You don't know what pain is, you little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I would be coming in working when I was working back in a clothing boutique, but
Mm-hmm.
before I got married and right after,
Yeah.
until we moved. I was working in this clothing boutique, and I would come in with injuries flaring, with back spasms from being trampled as a kid, with severe epileptic migraines. I'd be in the fluorescence of the store, lugging racks around with my back spasms, and these kids would come in for their shifts from school and go, my head hurts. That test was hard. And I remember how many things I wanted to say to them.
Yeah.
Or do to them.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want me to show you what pain in the head really feels like? Come here. I'm sure we got a vice clamp somewhere in the back. I mean,
Let me introduce your head to my countertop here.
or as Aerosmith said, my fist, your face.
Yeah.
Still one of my favorite songs. Highly underrated, actually.
Yes, originally found this old jewel here. Yes, that little wreck I had in Florida, it broke this bone right here, and whichever one of these is the radius. Okay.
So I was thinking about this leg where I tore it and going over what's happened with it in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Then fractured this elbow.
And if you go over this leg in the last couple of years, these are the events that have happened to this leg. I had 3 toes broken in 6 places. I cracked the foot bone and bruised the bone. I actually had nerve damage in the muscle in the lower foot from an old injury because of something. I had the muscle tear in the 5 places and go through severe physical therapy for a year after I couldn't even walk or get up on my own for 2 months. It got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
It is the one that's swollen with the ankle issues now. Which has a toxic reaction to apparently an infection from a bug bite, which has the entire ankle swollen and the entire leg broken out in hives.
Yep.
I'm still walking.
Yep.
I don't stay down.
Yep.
And part of me goes, you know what? This leg is totally fucked. And the other part of me goes, and yet you keep getting back up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that says about me.
Type A personality?
I do know it means that some people should realize they probably don't want to fuck with me. Because look at it this way. I have more timers on my life than you will ever understand. I have nothing to lose.
Like Steve
Every day I'm alive is a miracle.
Steve should be thankful you're a sub. Okay. If you're a dom, oh my God.
Yeah, I have a feeling that side of me would be very, very scary.
That may be your braking mechanism on there. That's how you compensate for everything else.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, I can survive. I can cope. I can deal with anything. This is how my brain operates. So,
Stuff is
fuck
chiming in
it.
here. Yep.
Let's go through this. Basically,
Yeah.
It's like, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have been conceived at all with my dad's issues and with my mom's issues at the time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have existed. B, there's multiple times I should have died.
Yeah.
I've had my brain literally on fire over 40 times from the seizures burning the tissue. I have scars all over my brain. I've been through more near death experiences in a year than most people have been through in their lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
I have been through more times where the doctors gave me between 1 to 20% odds of surviving events. I have more timers on my life that I've defeated and more of them I'm facing, and I'm still here. So either I can't die because I'm
Like in the
don't even
process
get
of dialing the priest for the last rites. Okay.
don't even get into my attempted
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
suicidal behaviors, even in the shit I did to myself then, because
Yeah.
there's no way in hell I should have lived through that.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
So either I can't die that easily, or there's something I'm still supposed to be doing. Either way, I might as well keep going, right?
There can be only one.
And bitches, it's gonna be me. I mean,
You need to make it to the quickening.
I don't know. I shouldn't by any rights be here, and neither should my husband. Not only was his dad going through issues with fertility at the time he was conceived, but his mom's tubes were tied.
Life will find a way. Yeah.
Apparently, Steve went, I'm going to be born. I don't give a shit.
Like, you sure you tied that right? I'll find a way through.
And I was like, okay, well, they look over it. Yeah, they were definitely tied.
I think it may be a case of reality. Because you see this big old giant. Well, look at that. The actual, it's maybe a couple of millimeters distance between the gap there. It's like, not much of a gap there. Okay.
That's the hilarious part about this. They were genuinely, definitely tied. Because they had to untie him so she could actually give birth to him properly.
And sperm cells are really teeny tiny. So it's like, if you just got it like blocked off or anything, there it is. So, yeah, a tubal pregnancy is not good. So I think we better untie that now, or you're gonna have real problems. Okay, get this egg to the fetus or get to the uterus, or.
So it's like, look, I shouldn't be here. My husband shouldn't be here. My dad should not have lived as long as he did by any stretch. I have a best friend, one of my best friends, who is right now about to hit the 5-year survivor mark on a brain cancer that has less than 5% survival rate for 5 years.
Yeah.
Can we accept at this point that my friends and me and my family, we're badass in a lot of ways? We don't go down easy.
No.
Actually, that's a different thing. But anyway. Sorry, immature side came out. I love my family and I love my friends. And I love the fact that we're tough as nails and we don't give up.
Oh, yeah. The movie Rush was about Formula One racing back in the 70s, mainly about Niki Lauda and James Hunt, British, German, right. And James Hunt, Niki Lauda was involved in a horrific crash at the Nürburgring. And it's like, this is back before a lot of the safety measures got put in, and he was basically engulfed. His car caught, because an F1 racer at that time, it's basically a gas tank with a very large engine, and you're in the middle of it. So it blew up. He's actually breathing in the flames. His lungs were burned. And they get him to the hospital. They're sucking ashes out of his lungs, and it was not looking good. He just, they had the priest on his way in to give him last rites. He told the priest to go fuck off. And he came back, and he was back driving within a year. Rather badly scarred, but he just died like maybe a year or so ago. Because he ended up, being a team owner. But that guy was, God, tough as nails.
Look at it this way. I literally drowned and was resuscitated when I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. That's a case of don't want to die.
that's a case of I swear I scared the hell out of my brother routinely as a child. Well, here's the first thing. When I had the massive seizure that put me in the hospital with all the burning and everything,
Yeah.
I was clearing the breakfast table with my brother. Who do you think witnessed all of it? It happened.
Mm.
He was about 10 at that time
Mm-hmm.
and freaked. Naturally, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Okay. He's the one who found out I wasn't making noise anymore and found me drowned in the tub.
Whoops.
So, which was when he's about 13.
Yeah.
So, I think I was routinely just scaring the hell out of him.
Yeah. Like, this knack for surviving shit is being pushed to the limit here. Okay. Just because you can survive doesn't mean you have to try it. Okay, maybe. How about if I put 2 forks in the socket this time?
I didn't need to do that to get shocked. I had the lightning later on to help with that.
Yeah. If I was to throw some Star Trek content in this mix, just to even things up a bit. The Twitter, the official Star Trek Twitter account, trying to hype up about the last very short Trek, video they did.
Mm-hmm.
Their attempted tribute to the animated series, which is who the hell Green, but Worst Contact was the latest one, where it's a next gen era thing. Riker and Crusher and some unknown ensign beam down to this race has just discovered warp drive, thus making them eligible for first contact. And this race is like they most disgusting. Their big things. They pick their nose and smirk on their way of on is picking the nose and then after a handshake and it's just gross out humor. It's not funny at all. But what did I do? What was your part? I think everyone connected with this thing needs to be punished in some way. Frakes and McFadden should go on an extended apology tour to all the conventions, whereas the people who wrote this thing, fired, fined, reimburse the studio, maybe even pay reparations to the audience.
McFadden should go on an apology tour for claiming that she's a person of color.
Well, yeah, just for general. Yeah. Yeah.
That and all the bullshit. I mean, racist shit she says.
Granted, Caucasian with blonde hair, yeah, that's technically a color, but it's like that's usually not what they mean.
I mean, literally, ever since I pointed out to her when she said, "If you're white, you're racist, but you're white," she's literally ever since then been trying to claim that she's a minority.
Uh-huh.
I got under her skin, apparently.
Oh, the McFaddens were so Kirsten. They're so oppressed back in the old country.
And then she goes, well, I have another heritage too. It's like, yeah, I looked it up. It is the whitest of the white of the Eastern European groups.
Yeah.
It is literally like the whole race looks like they're albinos. They're so pale. Yeah. And that's her other side that makes her a minority. Mm-hmm. You're a European that's hyper pale. That's not a minority, bitch. Mm-hmm.
I think the usual suspects got a little too far in trying to claim, black people built England. No. Black people did not build, they did not build Stonehenge. Any black Roman soldiers left when Rome left, okay? They didn't stick around and help out. Okay.
And there is no evidence to this whole Jesus was black shit. In fact, documented his genealogy is not.
No.
Did he have a little bit of African blood mixed in through some of the people that married in? Yes.
Northern
Would he
Africa.
have been black? No. In fact, most likely he would have had a dark olive tone because of the different races that mixed to create him.
And the environment. You're on the
Hmm.
Mediterranean. You're gonna have a tan.
You're going to have a bit of both. And so, yes, he would not have been as white as the artwork is made of him. I can agree with that sentiment. Okay, this artwork is cheesy. This isn't what he should actually look like. Come on, can we stop with this?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm going to agree with you on that. It's a little insulting to the intelligence.
I mean, culturally speaking, it's like it's like Indian people, from the subcontinent. A lot of them are darker than some black folks. Are they considered black? No. Cultures, when they're talking blacks, we're talking sub-Saharan African.
I have an uncle
Mm-hmm.
who honestly looks more black than native. He is a very native guy, but he looks more black than native.
Yeah.
Because he came out very dark anyways, and his native features were kind of subdued with some of the white that mixed with very little bit on his side, and
Yeah.
it actually ended up looking almost like black features.
Yeah.
Add to that 30 years working as a by foot mail carrier.
Yeah. You got a lot of sun. Yeah.
He looks freaking black. People think he's black. He's a full blood brother of my dad. Got news for him. He's mostly native. And the closest you get with Caucasian is a tiny bit mixed in with the Hispanic side.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly that big of a Hispanic side because it comes from the Spaniard invasion of Mexico in the early days, and it's mostly South American tribes that mixed in with the Hispanic side.
Yes, that's
so.
right.
There's not much to him other than native.
Yeah,
But he
Spanish.
doesn't look native.
Yeah, Spanish is kind of white. Okay.
It's
Spaniards come in all shapes and
complicated.
color, blonde, blue-eyed. Yeah.
It's kind of complicated with Hispanic because, yes, the term does mean it originated with Spanish, but it's also a catch-all term with a lot of cultures that, while they mixed with Spanish, they are still mostly these other races and that are actually minority,
Yeah.
but they're classified as Hispanic now because of that whole conquistador era and all the
Hispaniola.
intermingling.
Yeah.
And some of them, they're still mostly the blood of the group that was invaded,
Yeah.
but yet they're still classified as Caucasian and Hispanic. And I do think there is a cross point there that's got some issues. But that's a whole other topic on that 1 second here.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're really going overboard with their idiotic videos by the BBC. I don't know your Black history in England. There is no Black history in England. Where do you think white folks come from?
I got news for you people. Who do you think were the slaves that built most of England? It was the Celts. It was redheaded people, you fuckers. I mean,
It's like,
you fucker, you brought her. I mean,
it's like, yes, were there some black folks in England? Yeah, there were some black folks in England. Not in ancient time, pre-Roman England. No. If there were, they wandered in from somewhere else and they didn't leave much of a mark. Okay, I guarantee you.
what drives me nuts is, can't we just stop this bullshit already?
Yeah.
Be honest.
It's like,
And
you're not-
stop with trying to make everything black. Okay, look, African has its own history, its own culture, its own mythology, multiple, like every belt of the world. There are thousands of tribes that come from that. There's all these different histories and cultures. Great.
Yeah, there is
You
plenty
don't own
of.
every other fucking culture. You don't own every other fucking country. You're not responsible for every civilization. Fuck off with that shit.
Yes, there are
Fucking
plenty
black
of
supremacists.
actual black stories out there. Tell them.
It is black supremacy.
Yes,
It's literally what it is. And
Yeah.
that is also, by the way, the roots of this whole life started in Africa thing, which they have no evidence of scientifically.
Actually, some evidence saying no, it didn't. There is some evidence coming in now that
And
no, actually, humans originated somewhere. I haven't looked into it where, but it's like no, it didn't. It didn't start in Africa.
can we get into this weird fucking subsect where everybody in Black and Asian culture who tend to hate each other and tend to be the most racist to each
Yeah.
other historically, and still are. Actually, one
Yeah.
of the biggest racial issues is between Black and Asian. But they seem to be able to get together to agree that it's impossible that any life started on this continent here, and that all natives are either theirs and we belong to them.
Yeah.
Fuck you. We don't belong to you. We have every ability to have had life start here just as much as any other continent, you fucking racist bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been at least 9 different species of human that sprung up around the world. Most of them died off. And the last 2, let's see, Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon got through it by basically hooking up and breeding.
Shaggity shag, 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 shag. I mean,
Yeah. And I told you about my lab partner when we're talking about that, and they start listing the traits for Neanderthal, and we just looked at him. He fit it to a T.
I still want to remember what that special was my mom was watching. This woman looked like she stepped out of a drawing of cave people. I mean, really, really looked like it. She spoke articulately, but she had that jutted jaw, the flat, angled forehead, everything.
Yeah.
And she didn't look right for modern life.
Yeah, there are still Neanderthal traits that breed. I don't know, probably got a couple through myself.
There's got to be some reason I'm as fucked up as I am. Let's blame that. That sounds like a good one.
Yeah. I wonder, is Anthony ever going to do another karaoke stream? I'm getting tired. I keep racking up more and more tracks.
Nag him.
I was ready to do a nice little tribute to Jimmy Buffett right when right the it's kind of lost the moment now.
Nag him. That's what I do.
I recently found a great backup track for the old Paul Revere and the Raiders, Indian Reservation. That's the history of that song is interesting too.
And by the way, that reminds me of something else that I've been wanting to comment on so much.
Okay.
Whoever the fuck has decided to start giving awards to a show that talks about native issues and named it the show Res Dogs, you're fucking racist bastards. Using that term to reference natives is a really bad slur. It's a reference to the out of control wild dog population that is a threat to the people on the reservations. And it's used in connotation to the people on reservations as saying that we are uncivilized monsters that are a threat to other life.
And I would like to know who. Okay, was this by the producers of the show? And
I know there's a show named that, and I know it keeps getting all these awards and all this accredited. Oh, it's so thoughtful to native culture. It's like, no, it's really racist as fuck to us.
Yeah.
By using that name, it's racist as fuck to us. Because it is an absolutely horrifically derogatory phrase. And it is the same as using the hard N word. It is literally a slur that is the term that is purpose is to say that you are subhuman. I'm sorry, I don't find it cute or charming to use that slur and do the whole, we're taking it back shit. Fuck you.
That's not something we want to take back.
Especially considering the fact that the people that are making this are not fucking native. They may have native actors who went along with it, but that's not the same thing.
Yeah, actually, Steph brings us something here, but KGNU, it's a gal, I think she's Lakota, Teresa Halsey, that's Indian Voices. One time, somebody called up the station complaining about the name of the show.
But Res Dogs is somehow fine.
that one is that is crossing there, but
And
this shouldn't be called Indian Voice. The host is the Lakota Sioux. You want to take it up with her?
I got news for you. Most natives prefer the term Indian over native.
Yeah, they prefer American Indian. That sounds sexier. right. There's a lot of people did not mind that. The Washington Redskins. They didn't mind that. In fact,
No,
that's why
don't,
that's why I'm talking
don't,
about bringing it back now. Commanders is not taking off.
got news for you.
Mm-hmm.
Were there some who don't like it? Are there some who hated the term Redskin because of how it's been used on them in the past?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My dad was among them. He hated that
Yeah.
phrase.
Mm-hmm.
He also
Yeah.
didn't think the team should be forced to change their name.
Yeah.
He hated the phrase, though, and he didn't like that the name was there.
Yeah.
But he didn't think they should be forced to change.
Yeah.
Even there was a disagreement, but that came because of what he was put through with that term.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Specifically.
Yeah.
We didn't agree on that. You need to get mad at me.
Yeah.
But the fact is, even he acknowledged most natives nothing against that term
No.
and didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Even he said most of us don't agree on this, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay. We have the right to not agree on shit.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the one that gets to me. And I'm not going to get into how you feel about her or anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything bad about her in this, but it's how I've seen other people interact on threads when she's on them. When OG Star Wars
Yeah.
gets on threads where we're discussing Lakota culture and heritage,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and people are asking specifically for people of the tribe to speak on these issues, they will intentionally talk over my answers to speak to her. Because she looks it.
Yeah.
And even she has called them out on that and told them, no, she's one of us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Her voice is valid on this. And the thing is, me and her disagree on a lot of the cultural stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We disagree on which words to use for it. We disagree on viewpoint on the different culture and religion to our people. Mm-hmm. And yet even she gets pissed when they won't listen to me while I'm disagreeing with her. Because she's like, no. This is still our voice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Our voice includes our dissension from each other. We're not going to agree on everything. It's not natural to try to make us agree on everything. Mm-hmm. No group's going to all agree on something.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
I don't find if she ever makes it down when she does the dancing thing, or makes it down to the Denver powwow.
It is.
Because it would be fun to meet up.
Amazing. And I know that she has gotten into it with some people. I've gotten into it with some people because I'm sorry, some of these bigger accounts have genuinely sided with using derogatory phrases and stories against natives, or just sided with the whole notion that, it wasn't stealing, it was conquering. What do you think conquering is? Yeah,
you're coming in with weapons and taking.
The amount of people who still defend Manifest Destiny actually is creepy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I will cite it as that's just the reality of life at the time. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's like there's a lot of things we should have, even at the time, should have realized. No,
and I'll say it was wrong. It doesn't mean that I'm going to say. I say it's wrong. It was a genocide. That mean that everybody that was there then committed it. Does it mean that the people today should have things taken from them that when they had no part in it? No. But to sit there and try to defend the whole Manifest Destiny and pretend that it wasn't an atrocity.
Yeah. Yeah, when it is crossing into genocide, no, that is going too far, okay? I mean, the argument can be made, I'll put it that way, that, the natives conquered the land from somebody else, so it's like, we just came in with better guns and everything, but...
Well, actually, yes and no on that.
Yeah, I know
some of them don't have proof on a lot of that. They have proof on some tribes took it from some tribes. Mm-hmm. They don't know the full history, and that's the thing. They base all of this on the fact that there's a couple tribes that have proven
they didn't
African and Asian lineage. Not all of us do. Yeah. It's a ridiculous notion. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the argument can be made, but it only goes so far. A lot of it is like, no, we just decided we're taking the continent whether you like it or not.
And the other thing is, just flat out honesty on this. Mm-hmm. The ones that go, well, natives did this stuff before we got here. It's like, well, first of all, every group had good and evil in it. Every group had wars in their past. To try to use that as a justification for anything is ridiculous.
Oh, God.
That's like saying, okay, well, England did this in the past, so ignore it. It's no big deal if Africans come in and just wipe out the continent and take it from them, right? Same logic, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't work that way. Two wrongs don't make a right. I mean, God forbid we use a little common sense and not be raging bigoted idiots out in this society.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Oh, the latest dispatch from this side, from one of the guys working. The creeps are trying to push the narrative. You're old and in love with Indy. You had a total meltdown. It doesn't look like a total meltdown, you fuckheads. The trans thing. Now you're dead set on trying to date trans. It is so supportive and drives you crazy. It's like, no, you're a creep. Gosh, I made you jealous. He has everything in one. India feeling like got money, you got private shows. All the, yeah, just rub it in the nose of everybody else. You're special. You're all shit, people. And Indy hates you for being a stalker. And Lester's taking advantage of this, pushing it. Like, I don't think Lester's claiming that. Okay, that if Jean goes, Indy will fall in love with you. No, I don't see Indy falling in love with me. Okay, I would like a reconciliation on that front, but come on, okay. And I'm still trying to no fool like an old fool. Well, that's another issue. And the only talking going on over there is the creepazoids. Everyone else is afraid to speak up.
By the way, can I point out that those creeps are in the same age bracket as you, anyways?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So when they call you an old fool, aren't they just outing
guess
themselves?
What? I'm sure there's a lot of gray hair on that side and some bald heads too. So fuck you guys. You guys are sick.
And some shriveled old balls that don't work right anymore and are looking for a last thrill.
Shove little micro dicks, okay? All it takes is somebody speak up. You're Lester. You're head, and they're blocked immediately. And Gene is, the other thing, he's looking. He's the one driving the whole thing. He's king over there, and then you won't hear a word against him, and he's loving it. But again, we're just going to keep on pushing here. And no,
I'm almost disappointed. It's too much of a pissy little pussy to come back here and talk shit while I'm actually here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think.
Dude, I guarantee you he's still watching this.
I know. I did ban his ass. I'll put that much, but
Yeah, but that doesn't stop him from starting your names. It doesn't stop him from watching.
Yeah,
either.
True. You hadn't tried again. And
we know. I'm sure once after this is Gene, I'm sure you're still watching because I know what kind of creepy little stalker who tells everybody else stalkers that you really are.
Yeah.
Why don't you try talking shit when I'm here? You little craven chicken shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's actually had real stalkers, okay? Real stalkers, ones that don't have her best interest at heart,
Because I'm getting really sick and tired of people throwing around that term lightly.
Mm-hmm.
Every time these people do this, every time. Mm-hmm. Look at what I brought up earlier. It's like the same ones. Every time they try to bring out these purity tests of any form in any community, and this is a type of it too. It's just a twisted one because they're doing purity tests for a porn star.
Yeah.
Because God forbid you actually use your brains.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I get it. The world gets it. You're losers. You have no balls. You have no dicks. Apparently, you have no brains to work the other head either. But get a life.
Mm-hmm. It's like Miss John's the same age as her father, okay? And he's got a wife and kid of his own. So again, Miss John, if this is catching up here, what does your wife think of you pervying over a porn star young enough to be your daughter, you sick fuck? And probably the same thing with you, Gene. You can't find a little femboy of your own somewhere? You got to try and turn Indy into one? Or is this your way of trying to, get all your jollies off with a femboy thing but make it street legal? Oh, she's actually an adult. Actually a girl. Rape is still rape, you chickhead. Come on. Grooming is still grooming. You're still twisting her poor, disturbed mind and even more of a pretzel. So frankly, I think you're, actually, I mean, my early statement, you're worse than the ones that did this to her as a kid. Because she wasn't fucked up when she was a kid. She is fucked up now, has been for years, and you're taking full advantage of it, sick fuck motherfucker. Go sit on a cactus, you shithead.
No. You want him to hurt something that'll actually hurt. I'm sure he takes enough stuff up there, he wouldn't even feel it.
True. Go fuck a porcupine. Okay.
Yeah. I almost hit one driving home last night. I also actually had to brake to avoid a black-footed ferret. Which actually kind of made me glad to see one, though.
Yeah.
Especially since I managed to avoid hitting him when he dodged into traffic. It's like, holy crap, thank you, you're still around. Oh, you stink. Get away from me.
Yeah. And apparently, the jackass works in computers. He really shouldn't be working with me anywhere near kids. That's for damn sure. That's probably where he met his little twink ex, I think best case scenario is this: the twink got too old. No, he's no longer 14. He's looking like an adult. Fuck you, get away. We're gonna try for another one. Oh, and I'll get a girl this time. She'll stay younger longer. Not at this rate. Not the way she's hitting the pot. Not the way she's hitting the pot. Okay.
That is actually why a lot of these guys who want that whole thing, who are into the underage stuff, go after women to try to convince them that that's what we are, because we look younger longer than men do statistically.
Yeah. But then he's already getting the bags under the eyes, and again, she's about to turn 30 in another couple of years. The baby fat's going away. They keep like, oh, he's jealous of my money. I don't give a flying fuck if you money, you dickhead. Okay. She's talking about being
money
some
is
big damn
not
actor
an important thing.
No. I mean, I'd be happy if this channel starts getting successful, taking off, but it's like...
He wants to claim to be an actor. Does he know about all the sex scandals with minors that actors have?
Oh, yeah.
It's not a good way to disprove those accusations.
No. I think we can shake that shit clear back to Fatty Arbuckle. Yeah. All right, let me send this over to your tweet here. Your DMs. So you can see what I just got. Can't show it because I promised I would not do any screenshots of this, what this guy sends me and stuff. I probably quoted too exactly as it is, but that's what I got. Yeah.
Give me a moment here to look.
Uh-huh.
Because this is loads of fun, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, when it's kind of the fun part of this, I do something like this and they go fucking nuts, Which kind of tells me I'm hitting a nerve. That this is what they have to do to try and counter my ass. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, Indy still knows I am honest with her. She may disagree violently, but she knows I tell her exactly what I think is going on, and I'm not bullshitting her. And one day I'm going to get this drawing pad to work, and I do some proper online computer artwork.
It's just sad how little balls these men actually have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah, you got to take
look, guys.
a confused, you know, well, documented list and a self-admitted list of anxiety and personality disorders a mile long, and trying
I
to.
would say, I would say that these guys try to impress the women, but then again, I bet these are the kinds of guys who, when women look at them, it's like, is that a TikTok tack in your pocket, or are you
Mm-hmm.
happy to see me?
Yeah,
'Cause that little thing can't freshen anyone's breath.
yeah. It's these guys got a Mike and Ike's for a dick. You think, yeah.
No, Tic Tac, because it can't freshen anybody's breath.
Ooh, mm-hmm.
And anyway, I'm a little snarky on this shit.
Yeah.
Look, I have tried to be the one saying, "Wouldn't you want to talk about this? How much? How many times have I said,
Mm-hmm.
can we just have a normal night?"
Yeah.
Because I do care, but I also have a tendency to go very pragmatic. And when
Yeah.
I don't think somebody's willing to listen, or I think they're too stupid to fucking get it,
Mm-hmm.
I have a tendency to cut them off and give up on them.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people I'm trying to help. I'm not going to waste all my effort on this little fucking dumbass
Yeah.
who isn't going to turn away from her predators.
Mm-hmm.
And if I actually saw in any mind that the trans thing was not being pushed by somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
then I would respect it. But I don't, because I believe it's absolutely grooming.
Yeah.
And Steffi, I've got bigger balls than them. And I'm all woman. Well, to be fair, I've got pretty big ones. I mean,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. And, you heard that.
mwah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look, I mean,
Yes.
I get it.
Yes. We won't discuss the glimpse from the last time. Okay. No. Pull my shirt down a bit more. Okay.
Oh, we won't.
No, we won't.
Are you trying to ruin my fun? That was your own fault, you know.
I know. I'm not paying attention to the. Oh, it's just one thing. Oh shit! Sorry. Like I said,
And I am one of those who never lets go of a good joke I can make at somebody's expense.
yeah.
Look, I, you know my friend,
Mm-hmm.
who I will just call L because I don't need these guys knowing the names of any of my friends to stalk them or find their other account. There's a reason he nicknamed me Sundari.
Okay.
Sundari is a term for going from extreme hot to extreme cold. It is used to describe a certain character type in anime that is the hard-headed psychotic bitch from hell with a heart of gold.
Aha.
And depending on how he's talking to me and how I'm talking to him, he'll go anywhere from calling me my sweet little Sundari to fucking Sundari.
Oh God.
But yeah, I mean, if this is how I interact with my friends, do they think I'm going to be nicer to them?
Mm-hmm.
Dudes, I'm not that nice.
No.
I'm only nice to people I think deserve it.
Mm-hmm. They're trying. No, I'm not in love with Indy. Okay. I love her as a person. I almost like to an extent, almost like I'm like my own kid in a way because I'm older than her dad by a few years, but it's like, and I care about her that much as far as her wanting her to have her proper life. She want to claim her life back. I'm not trying to take her away or anything. I'm going to rescue her from her life. That, want to be a great a hypocrite if I did try that. Cause like, why do you think I found her in the first damn place? But I say, it's like, remember actually in that little application of hers, what do you think of my job? And I surprised the fuck out of her with my answer, if you recall, because she was trying to be all snarky and like, oh, okay, because Because yeah, it's fun for her. She's safe. She works alone. It's a creative outlet for her. And the reason she does is, in the video, she does it for help lonely guys. Feel like they're making a connection here, and then people need that. It's like, yeah, and very laudable reasons for doing it. And that kind of caught her off guard. It's like, oh, okay then.
But that person I don't see.
Not anymore. No.
All I've seen from the beginning of this. Mm-hmm. Little peep show Steffi is not a nice way for the wife to phrase that.
Yeah.
Funny one to my mind.
Anyway. No, I try to turn it back on a little bit, because there's a slightly different thing. A picture of your gal who. One picture, perfectly lovely blonde-haired girl, and the next one cut her hair off, chest scars and the thing, and with the caption, like, why would a beautiful woman want to turn herself into a 13-year-old boy? And one of the response when I'm connected with is that because she's into pedos, and you do that one if you're trying to attract a pedo. And I saw that. Okay, Indy, are you into pedos? Is that what this is going here? Little Stockholm syndrome thing going? Because think for a minute, In fact, let me pull up what I did here. I can find. I need to find my original comment here. Before this craziness started earlier today.
So I can refer to the actor
we
you had on stream as a little peep show.
Okay, here we go.
1 second, I'll be back on in a minute.
Okay, all right. That's it. That raised the question, Andy. Are you, as it turns out, into pedos? Little Stockholm children work here. And that's it. Think about this, Andy. You are seeking to obliterate all secondary sex characteristics that mark you as an adult female in favor of looking like a 14-year-old boy. And continue to make porn in that vein. Ergo, you are making porn for pedos. It's starting to make sense now why we're upset of this. You are catering to monsters. And again, not necessarily, I got a thumbs up from Kakuri. Haven't seen anything from him today. But that's, even leaving names out of this. You are catering to these types of creatures, these types of, insane monsters, the type that brutalized you in your childhood. You're encouraging them to come at you some more. So it's like, does this sound like jealous agreement? No, it sounds like someone trying to fucking save your life here. Or get you to save yourself. Get away from these people. Stop encouraging them. This is not your casual thing. Hey, degenerates. No, you got hardcore perverts perving on you now. People who get locked up for the shit you are encouraging with this material you're doing now. We're kind of singling out Gene as a prime example because he's encouraging this himself for his own sick pleasure. Which kind of yeah, guess what, Gene? You're into this shit. You're a fucking pedo. Go away. Leave Indy alone. Take your sick friends with you. They're either a part of it themselves or like they're dumb enough to encourage it, in which case you do not belong. It's a place. If you think this is light enough, that it's no big deal. Bullshit is no big deal. Because think about, Lisa's not what you think. You think Gene's not watching the porn? The kid porn. Just looking, not touch. You're even looking. Someone is being brutalized, so some sick fucking get off. So no, there's no victimless situation there. Someone is getting their life destroyed, so you can get you can get your nuts off. Fuck you.
Move on. I'm going to sit here and do all my night routines.
Yeah. So like, there's been some, speculation that maybe she's doing it to try and placate it, so they're still going out. You're not slowing them down. You're revving them up. So no, I'm not buying that. Yep. Indy, enough. All right. Okay, I'll take
What
that
does it
advice.
take to wake some people up?
I
What
don't know
advice?
because I don't know what it took her to wake up from the last couple of times she's been groomed, and that was in person. That's the first time was middle school with an 18-year-old boy and his friend, and then wound up with her getting raped. And then apparently a couple, another time later on. I guess we probably it's in high school or shortly after high school. And probably a couple of old generic, date rapes in between there, because her personal history with men is not great.
Boy, can I empathize.
Yeah.
Look, if you attract scumballs, quit paying attention to the people you have instant attraction to and pay attention to the good people around you. Boy, it did wonders for me.
Yeah. And if someone is encouraging you to, again, lobbing off perfectly healthy body parts to relieve a personality issue, get away from them immediately. They are not your friends. This is not this is not something that should be encouraged by anybody.
It's just
Okay,
amazing to me that this stuff keeps happening and people aren't waking up. This movement is destroying people, and I don't know what it's
yeah,
going to take for
I
people to
know.
realize that.
I'm probably about 24 detransitioners in my follow list. Okay.
I know a lot of them.
Yeah, and a couple of them, I've invoked their stuff, and Prisha, she's a sweetheart. I think she knows what she chimed in one or time. He's like, this is not the way you do it. But I'm at my wit's end on this one. Okay, we tried the calm and rest, and it ain't working. Mainly because there's other forces went to no, you're a handsome boy. You should keep going. To fuck you. I've had to be shouting back just to get equal time here.
People need.
That's why I
It's
say,
insane.
that's the thing, And again, even with the, you're gonna, if you're gonna transition, you pull yourself away from all this, away from social media. You don't interact with anybody, so you can work on it yourself and make sure this is legit. And even then, because again, I got a few. Like, they did that. It was still bullshit. Okay, and they ended up wrecking their lives in the process while they're trying to figure. Even just going on testosterone route, they destroyed their voice. May not have gone through any surgeries, but it's like
I know several people who've gone through the transitioning and stuff.
you go from
I would
soprano to
actually
baritone.
consider legitimate trans. They had medical conditions. They were not fully one gender or the other. They were completely mismatched on different issues. They were not correct in their gender fully. And I was supportive because I knew that they had medical issues where this actually should relieve some of them because they weren't correct, And I still watched, and they were rational people and really quite based in a lot of ways and very accurate, very honest, very kind hearted people when they started. And literally, the longer they were in the system and going through the treatments, the longer they were doing hormone therapy and other shit, the more crazy and more unhinged they became. And I've seen it repeatedly. There's something really wrong when you're destroying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I have empathy for those who legitimately have these issues because the treatments are not good yet. They don't know what they're doing, and they're destroying people's lives.
Yeah.
So to those who have chimeric, hermaphroditic, asexual traits and stuff, and actually truly medically need these conditions and these treatments dealt with, I have the utmost compassion for you because this stuff screws you up. They're playing Frankenstein. They're playing God with humanity
Yeah.
and don't know what they're doing. And actually, Frankenstein is the correct description because
Yeah.
I was with the scars and bolts looking like a sideshow freak. And it's heartbreaking to see. What does it take to get them to understand these people are not their friends? These people are not helping you. They're catering to your issues so that they can feel like they're on the right side and so thoughtful and so
Oh,
considerate. It's
yeah.
like the Wokedeck shit. They don't actually give a shit about us. It is so they can look good.
That's it. Affirming the delusion only gets you more delusion. Yeah. A little further down the crazy train. Now I get some advice to be wary of this one person who's been feeding me a lot of information. I'm not taking everything face value because again we apparently ran into the thing. No, it didn't happen. Sorry. Oh well, we fucked up there. We thought the rest assured of the fact that our cause was just anyway, but then found out actually there may have actually come something after all. But like I said, I'm putting a few caveats on. I'm not saying everything there, but I'm putting a lot of stuff. It's like okay, somebody tell me if this is true or not. Okay. And yet still, nobody's coming back with me to discuss otherwise. They just automatically, it's all Bob. It's like, I don't know how many times I got to say, I've only got the one account, assholes, okay? I mean, maybe I could call up my page here and but I don't know how I could show it. Like, that I only got the one account.
I am beyond exhausted.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I just think this is all craziness. It's all insane.
Yeah.
Why are people doing this shit to themselves? And that's bad enough, but
Yeah.
the people who don't literally have these issues get brainwashed into thinking they'll be better, more fulfilled people if they do this shit to themselves.
Well, I don't know if you
You
caught the thing
won't
of the
be.
actual trans people coming out and say, Indy, stop doing this. You're making us look like idiots. Playing with a plastic dick does not make you trans.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's just beyond the pale. I'm so sick and tired of trying to figure it out, honestly.
Yeah.
And Steffi, I'm going to call it the Little Peep Show. Just try to be kind to each other. Is all I can suggest, people. Because we have all these creepers out there. We don't need more drama. We need to help each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. I'm not going to,
I'm just going to see what happens. Let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we're. Hang on. When do we end there? Hold on.
Hmm. Something tells me I won't make it here much longer.
Anyway,
Sleeping a lot since it started with my ankle.
yeah, I think we better wrap. We're at 2 hours here, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here at this point. I think it caused enough damage. So, so folks, okay.
Remember, never decker with an unwrapped pecker.
Mm-hmm. And try not to go to bed with anybody crazier than yourself. So, yeah.
I don't think that's possible for me.
It's probably not, yeah, but you know. But yeah, I think it caused enough fights over there. You know, get ready to start again tomorrow after I finish cleaning the kitchen. So,
I just hope to get myself together and get packed enough to leave tomorrow and go home.
yeah. All right, so
Spending
folks.
that much time in the major cities and in southern deserts was enough to stress me. Although the fact that part of Death Valley was closed down to snowfall in September was hilarious. That's some weird voodoo shit.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll plan this so that I can go through the Sequoia National Forest into the Death Valley, so I can at least get see things I've never seen as a reward for doing this. And no, all the highways in both of them are closed because of this blizzard. That's one freak blizzard if it can hit Death Valley in September.
Anyway.
Good night, sweetheart.
All right, so I'm having an argument on the side here, but yeah. All right, so we're gonna go and wrap it up here.
Time to go.
All right, so I think we'll skip the little closing bit there, but we'll talk at you later, kids.